2016 was a fabulous year. I'm so blessed and grateful to be able to get this video out. It was a year of change and growth, excitement. I grew as a businessman and as a human more than anything. I got a chance to reflect on where I was at one time and where I was in 2016. And 2016 was a year for me of remarkable change, because I took on something new, and that was motivational speaking. I decided that I would share my story on my social platform, where I was at one time, where I'm at now, and where I'm going. I'm definitely not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be, and I thank God for that. I have a unique story because I had the ability to come from really nothing and to where I am today, which is in the top 1% of income earners in the country. And I say that from a humble heart, and because it took me a lot to get to the place that I'm at now. I was living in LA, and there was I started working at some car dealership place, and I was admiring one of the Cadillac Escalades that were out there. An older, sophisticated man came up to me and said, "Hey son, step away from that car. You'll never be able to own one of those," you know? And it's easy if you come from where I come from to believe something like that. It was a mindset for me, and I felt that day he tried to cap me from my true potential and kind of steal something in my mind that I knew wasn't true. And I'm not gonna let that or allow anyone to try to discourage me from this passion that I felt. And at that time, I didn't know what that passion was. You know, I was still young. I was really undeveloped. I was living in LA, and so I went through a really difficult time out there. I ended up on the streets out there. Ended up living behind a church. And it was around that time where, you know, one of the services, I ran into a real estate agent, and his wife was the broker, you know, and I got to know these people. And one time he told me, "Hey Ralph, you know, I think you have a lot of potential, man. I think you'd be good at sales." And I was like, "Yeah, man, I think I can sell water to whales." And he's like, I like that, you know. In sales, there's a saying that goes, people do business with people they like, period. And I think he really just liked me, and just kind of, you know, we had kind of chemistry, him and his wife, and they just got a liking into me. And so they decided to invest some time into me. And that played a huge part in my life, because I didn't know what real estate was or mortgage banking at that time. I barely knew what car sales were. I was 20, 21 years old. And so he says, "I'm a real estate agent." And I said, "Okay, what do you guys do?" He's like, "I sell houses. Why don't you come out with me sometime?" So my dad worked, you know, he worked in construction, and he was a hard worker. And I honestly do attribute my work ethic to him, because you know, he would wake up at like 5 a.m. every day and go to work, clockwork, you know, and something was instilled in me, I guess unconsciously, just by looking at that and just kind of growing up in that environment. And so all these little things that I'm sharing, they played a big role in developing my framework and who I am today, and kind of the man that I'm developing into. It's this certain framework that I seen my dad just being a hard worker, and then I seen my mom just always like encouraging me that I could do and I could excel above my current reality. You know, as these events are unfolding in my life, it's like I'm walking through these motions, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm supposed to be doing this. This only feels right. Like, this is all these doors that are opening for me. This is what I knew would happen to me, you know? And it's kind of, you're just walking like, you're just kind of going through the motions, but you're focused somehow on a passion, in my opinion, that God gave me to get to continue to strive and push forward. I started working at their office in Palm Springs. Didn't know what I was doing, just picking up the phone and telling, you know, calling, just like cold calling people, "Would you like to buy or sell, buy or sell, buy or sell?" And just trying to generate leads for the company. And so I did that for about 6 months or so. And there was this one defining time where this is where kind of when he was receiving the money from the teller, I remember thinking to myself, like, wait a second, this is the kind of money my dad makes in a year. like, is there really people living like this? This is outrageous. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And I think a lot of people that watch me on my social media platforms, I think about that in the past now, and I think about where I'm at now, and they think like, wow, this is somebody that I can relate to because, I'm just a normal guy like anybody else. And I think people relate to me. But that day when I seen that money, I thought to myself, like, I had an instant like, aha, I'm doing this no matter what. End of story, period. No matter what it takes, no matter how high of a mountain I have to climb or how deep the ocean is, I'm going to swim it. Like, I'm going to jump every obstacle. I'm going to overcome every objection. There's nothing that's going to hold me back. I'm sold on what I got to do. I don't care who brings objection, who discourages me. Like, that day, all that ran through my mind like in a matter of seconds, and I just got going on that.